Hey folks, how's it going? So, something a bit bigger than miniature today, I guess. This is a huge Hulk statue figurine kit sort of thing. My friend that owns a comic book store was clearing out, I was helping him clear out part of a basement in his store, and this is something that showed up. The pieces of it were just strewn all throughout the basement. There was no box or anything like that, but luckily we were able to find all the parts to it. So I had a look. The only kind of identification on this thing is, I don't know if you can see this, on the bottom it says Horizon and then 1990. So I'm thinking this is a very old model kit, 26 years old at the time of filming this anyway. I've had a look online. It also has a stamp for copyright Marvel 1990 on the other foot as well. I've had a look online and I couldn't find any or very much information about this at all, like, you know, how many were produced or anything like that. But the interesting thing about it is that it looks obviously like a model kit, but the thing is that the bits don't go together properly, which is really strange. I know with, you know, most model kits that are produced, there is a fair bit of cleanup and kind of prep work to do for getting the pieces together. But this one, for example, there's no holes in the side of the torso here for the arms to go into. Even if there was, these kind of extra pieces on the side here are bigger than pretty much bigger than the available space on the side here. So I don't know how you're meant to get those in. There's a rim around the bottom here that looks like it would fit into some kind of space on the legs here, but then there's this huge kind of lip section here that just doesn't allow for anything to fit into it. So obviously for that you would need to probably cut this section off and then, you know, cut a hole in here for the torso to fit into. Then on the legs, same situation, there's this big kind of rim sort of thing going around here, but then there's just these sort of stumps that see, they look like they would fit into some kind of hole, but again that would involve kind of removing this big lip and then cutting a hole to the right size for this thing to fit into. So yeah, it's a kind of a confusing kit overall, but it looks awesome. It looks like it will be a really cool statue when it's all put together. I think this is from the ones I saw online anyway, this is classed as 1/6 scale. So I guess that's like 1/6 the size of a human being or something. Size wise, it's probably going to be around, I'd say about 1.5 feet tall when this thing's all done. So it's a huge statue. This will be the biggest statue that I'll have worked on. That's my intention anyways, to work on this thing and to, you know, put it all together, do any filling work and joining work I have to do, and then paint it up to make it look like a finished statue. There wasn't any damage on this, luckily. As I say, it was kind of strewn all throughout a basement. I was expecting maybe not to find some of the parts or whatever. The only bit of damage on it was this rim section here had broken off, but I think, as I say, I think you have to take those off anyway. And there's a little crack in the side of this leg, but that's really easily fixed just with some glue, and then you know, sand this kind of flush again pretty much. So yeah, this will be a series of videos, I think, but the reason I'm putting this one up just before I do any work on it is just to see if anyone knows anything about this kit, if anyone knows kind of how many were produced, and if why all the connecting parts or the parts that should connect don't connect. Initially I thought maybe this was like a, what is it they call these, like a garage kit or something, where someone has taken parts from another model and made their own mold and produced it, a small batch of them. Or if, you know, this is some kind of defect maybe, that they're, you know, unfinished one, that there should be the opportunity to I don't know, to join these better. I'm not sure. So if anyone has any any knowledge of kits from like the early 90s sort of thing. Is this a common thing? Is this something that, you know, a lot of the older kits, you know, happened with them? Did they come kind of just, you know, there were the pieces were molded and then it was just sent out in the box with no kind of you know, consideration for how these things really go together? Is it just a case of, you know, well, figure out for yourselves? It kind of, here's all the parts, but you got to kind of figure out how they fit together. So as I say, it's going to take a lot of work. I'm going to have to cut a lot of things out here and cut a lot of bits off that aren't really needed. But as I say, it's a really interesting sculpt. Overall, the torso looks awesome. This would make a pretty cool bust on its own, actually, but yeah, as I say, the torso is awesome. The expression on the face and the detail work in this is really nice as well. Some really nice you know, lines on his face going on and veins and stuff like that. And there's no mold lines on it whatsoever. I was expecting to see you know, maybe mold lines running all the way along here, but you know, I don't know how they cast these things. If it was, you know, a different process to than a two-part mold sort of thing, which is kind of what I'm used to seeing with models in general. But as I say, if I'm going to do any work on this, then the first stage will be for me to cut all these excess bits off. Drill holes where I need to drill holes, cut big sections out to make pieces fit into one another, and then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to fill this thing. I've been told that to make models heavier you can do a mixture of PVA glue or white glue and cat litter, and just kind of, you know, shove all that down into the recesses and stuff, just to give this thing a bit of weight. Because it's going to be, as I say, probably over a foot tall, and I don't want this thing to feel really lightweight. I want it to have some kind of heft to it. So yeah, that will be the first kind of stage to doing any work on this thing. But before I did that, I just wanted to throw this video out there and just to try to get some information about why the hell these things don't come with the kind of you know, the thought of them being easy to fit together or whatever. As I say, just if anyone could let me know if that was a regular thing, or if this is just some kind of one-off, you know, one-off situation where this is the case. But either way, I'm really looking forward to putting this thing together. It will be the biggest piece I've ever worked on, but I think overall it will be fairly straightforward and simple to do. So looking forward to it. So yeah, any info you have on this, guys, be much appreciated if you could share it down in the comments. But until the next one, cheers for watching, and I will catch you all later. Bye!